After the recent statement by Russian President Vladimir Putin that Moscow will definitely give an asymmetric response to the actions of the West in Ukraine, the activity of numerous forces fighting against the American military around the world has rapidly increased. In the last 24 hours alone, about 8 attacks on American air bases and military convoys have been recorded in Iraq and Syria. Moreover, Yemen's Houthis have also intensified their attacks on commercial and military vessels of Western countries, in the southern part of the Red Sea and the western part of the Gulf of Aden. The statement by the President of Russia that Moscow will begin to actively arm the forces that are fighting the United States and its so-called allies has the effect of a bombshell in the West. Western experts and analysts are still wondering who exactly Russia will start supplying deadly weapons to fight the United States and other Western countries. American journalists even tried to get an answer to this question from the head of the Kremlin's press service, Dmitry Peskov, during his meeting with the world media at the International Economic Forum in St. Petersburg. However, Dmitry Peskov refused to answer this question. According to him, Moscow is not obliged to give an account of which side will receive high-precision Russian weapons. At the same time, he noted that everything happening today is a consequence of the rash actions of the United States and its allies in Ukraine. Commenting on Putin's statements, a military expert and retired lieutenant colonel of the U.S. Army, Daniel Davis, said that the United States and other Western countries will certainly feel the negative consequences of their rash decisions to start supplying long-range weapons systems to Ukraine and at the same time give permission to the Ukrainian army to use these Western weapons against the territories of the Russian Federation. Daniel Davis noted that due to the retaliatory actions of Russia, the United States and other Western countries are putting themselves at great risk. At the same time, the expert acknowledged that the United States and its allies were heavily defeated in Ukraine, and that the current escalation was the result of Western despair. By the way, Washington received another bad news today. As it turned out, not only the warships of the Russian Northern Fleet, led by the frigate Admiral Gorshkov and the nuclear submarine Kazan, armed with hundreds of Zircon hypersonic missiles, but also the warships of the Pacific Fleet of the Russian Federation, are rapidly heading to the shores of the United States. In particular, we are talking about the missile cruiser Varyag and the frigate Marshal Shaposhnikov. Let me remind you that these missile ships are among the most powerful and deadly in the Russian Navy. In addition, it is reliably known that these warships are accompanied by 11 submarines. Unfortunately, sources in the Russian military department refused to name the type and class of these submarines. According to them, this information is a state secret. Thus, very soon, the United States in its backyard will be forced to observe naval exercises of a very powerful force, capable of destroying all strategically important military facilities in the southern and eastern parts of the United States. Moreover, as it turned out, strategic bombers Tu-160 and Tu-95 will also soon join these military exercises in the backyard of the United States. Most likely, they will practice launching a nuclear strike on the territory of the United States. In addition, sources have confirmed that at the moment, there are more than 20 Russian submarines off the coast of the United States, which have leveled missiles at all strategically important U.S. cities. And if you think that this is the end of the bad news for the United States, then you are deeply mistaken. The fact is that Washington is confident that all this powerful force capable of delivering a crushing blow to the United States will remain in the Caribbean until November 2024, when the U.S. presidential elections will be held. Moreover, many experts are confident that Russia will not withdraw its warships and submarines from the shores of the United States, even if Trump wins the presidential election. Many are confident that Russia will keep its hypersonic and nuclear missiles in the backyard of the United States until the very moment when the Kyiv regime capitulates. Meanwhile, the situation of the United States in the Gulf of Aden and the Red Sea also continues to deteriorate rapidly. As it turned out, regular attacks by Yemen's Houthis on American warships have already yielded results. So, on June 8, 2024, the US military decided to withdraw all its warships from the Camp Lemonnier military base in Djibouti. This fact once again confirmed that not only American warships but even military bases are absolutely defenseless against the drones, ballistic, and cruise missiles of Yemen's Houthis. Commenting on the withdrawal of American warships from the Camp Lemonnier military base, Pentagon representatives admitted that this military base does not have good protection, and therefore, enemy cruise and ballistic missiles, together with kamikaze drones, could cause significant damage to American warships. Well, my friends, as you can see, despite their limited capabilities, Yemen's Houthis continue to control almost the entire territory of the western part of the Gulf of Aden and the southern part of the Red Sea. After Yemen's Houthis successfully attacked American warships, including the aircraft carrier Dwight Eisenhower, the American military, together with other representatives of the armies of NATO countries, began to reckon with the Yemeni rebels and even fear them. And now imagine what will happen when high-precision modern Russian weapons fall into the hands of Yemen's Houthis.